Welcome. Have you ever checked your bank account at the end of the month and wondered where all your paycheck went? You're not alone. Millions of Americans feel that way, especially with rising costs for everything from groceries to gas. According to recent surveys from the Federal Reserve in 2025, over 40% of U.S. households live paycheck to paycheck, struggling to make ends meet amid inflation rates hovering around 3 to 4%. But here's the good news. Budgeting isn't about cutting out all the fun or living like a monk. It's about taking simple steps to control your spending so you can actually afford the things that matter, like that family vacation, paying off student loans, or just building some financial security. Over the next 20 minutes or so, we'll dive deep into Budgeting 101, breaking it down into easy, actionable steps that anyone can follow, no matter your income, where you live in the US, or how much experience you have with money management. We'll cover everything from calculating your income to avoiding common pitfalls, with real examples and tips tailored for everyday Americans. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Let's start with why budgeting is a game changer in America today. Think of it like planning your road trip across the country. Without a map, you might end up lost, wasting gas on detours or running out of money halfway through. A budget is your financial GPS. It shows where your money is going and helps you steer it where you want. The first step is to figure out what you're working with, your income. This might seem basic, but let's get specific and thorough. Your income isn't just your main paycheck. Include everything that comes in. That means side gigs on platforms like Uber, DoorDash, or Etsy, freelance work on Upwork, bonuses from your job, tax refunds, which averaged $2,800 per filer in 2024 and are expected to be similar in 2025, or even stimulus checks if the government issues any. Sit down and list it all out for a typical month. If your income varies, like if you're in sales, gig work, or seasonal jobs common in states like Florida or California, average it over the last 3 to 6 months to get a realistic take-home pay. After taxes, of course. Don't forget to subtract automatic deductions like federal and state taxes, Social Security, Medicare, 401k contributions, or health insurance premiums, so you're looking at the net income that actually lands in your checking account. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Now let's move to the other side. Your expenses. This is where the real insights come in, and it's often the most eye-opening part. Most Americans underestimate their spending because small purchases, like that daily Starbucks run, $5 a pop, adding up to $150 a month, or Amazon impulse buys, add up fast. In fact, a 2025 NerdWallet study found that the average U.S. household spends over $1,000 annually on unnoticed subscription creep from services like Netflix, Hulu, and gym memberships. Start by tracking everything for at least a week or two. Aim for a full month if you can. To make it easier, break it into categories. Fixed expenses like rent or mortgage, which can eat up 30% of income in cities like New York or LA, utilities, car payments, student loans, affecting over 44 million Americans with an average debt of $37,000, and health insurance premiums that stay the same each month. Then variable ones like food, average household spends $800 monthly, entertainment, clothes, and transportation that can fluctuate. Popular US apps like Mint from Intuit or Pocket Guard can link to your bank and credit card accounts, categorizing everything automatically and even sending alerts for unusual spending. If you're old school, use bank statements or receipts. The goal is to spot leaks. Maybe you're spending $200 on takeout without realizing it, or those streaming services add up to $60 when you only use one. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Once you have your income and a clear picture of your spending, it's time to create your actual budget. Don't worry, this doesn't mean hours of spreadsheets or complicated math. Start with a simple method like the 50-30-20 rule, popularized by experts like Senator Elizabeth Warren in her book, All Your Worth. Here's how it works in detail. 50% of your income goes to needs, essentials like housing, food, transportation, utilities, and minimum debt payments. 30% is for wants, fun stuff like dining out, hobbies, subscriptions, or that weekend getaway. And 20% is for savings and extra debt repayment, like building your emergency fund or chipping away at credit cards. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Let's apply this to Alex's $4,600 income with more breakdown. 50% is $2,300 for needs, a $200 rent in his Midwest apartment, $400 groceries, factoring in rising food prices, $250 utilities including internet, $200 gas for his commute, $150 minimum on student loans, and $100 for phone and other basics. 30% is $1,180 for wants, $400 eating out, pizza nights and coffee runs, $300 entertainment, movies, streaming, gym, and $200 clothes or hobbies. The remaining 20% goes to savings, $500, and extra debt repayment, $420. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. But what if 50-30-20 doesn't fit your situation? Like if you have high medical bills or live in a high-cost city like New York or San Francisco, where rent can take 40% of income. That's fine. There are other methods to explore. Try the zero-based budget, championed by finance guru Dave Ramsey, where every dollar has a purpose. You assign all your income to specific categories, needs, wants, savings, debt, until your balance hits zero. At the end of the month, nothing is left unaccounted for, including a category for miscellaneous to handle surprises. This is great if you want total control and to avoid those random Walmart or Target runs that add up. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Another classic is the envelope system, which many Americans use digitally now through apps. Physically or virtually, divide your money into envelopes for each category: groceries, gas, fun, dining. Once it's empty, you stop spending there until next month. No swiping the card for just one more thing. Apps like Good Budget or Memvelopes mimic this and sync with US banks. Or go for the 80-20 rule for ultimate simplicity. Save 20% of your income off the top, maybe into a Roth IRA or high-yield savings. Then spend the remaining 80% on everything else without overthinking categories. This is perfect for busy beginners who want quick results and is especially useful for those with variable incomes, like gig workers in the sharing economy. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. If you're tech-savvy, consider hybrid methods. For instance, combine 50-30-20 with zero-based by using apps to track in real time. Whichever method you pick, the key is to choose one that feels manageable, test it for a month, and tweak based on what works. In the US, with things like sales tax varying by state from 0% in Delaware to over 10% in California, factor that in too. Many apps auto-calculate it based on your location. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Now let's talk about setting up your budget in practice with more hands-on tips. Use tools tailored for Americans to make it seamless. Free spreadsheets from Google Sheets or Excel are customizable. Create columns for categories, expected amounts, actual spending, and even notes for why you overspent. For automation, apps like Mint from Intuit, which also owns TurboTax, connect to your US bank accounts, credit cards, and even investment apps, sending alerts if you're over in a category and providing free credit score monitoring. YNAB, You Need a Budget, is another favorite. It teaches you to give every dollar a job and has tutorials for beginners with a focus on aging your money, spending last month's income this month for stability. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Make your budget realistic and detailed. If you love your morning latte from Dunkin' or Starbucks, don't eliminate it. Budget $60 a month instead of $150, perhaps by brewing at home a few days a week. Small tweaks add up without feeling like a sacrifice. Tracking as you go is essential, and here's how to make it a habit. Check in weekly, log into your app or sheet and ask, "Am I on track?" If you overspent on groceries, hello, Costco bulk buys. Cut back on eating out that week. Life happens. Maybe a road trip to visit family means extra gas one week, or a sale at Best Buy tempts you. That's okay. Just adjust elsewhere, like skipping the movies. Over time, this becomes second nature, and you'll spot patterns, like how weekends lead to more online shopping on sites like Amazon, or how payday Fridays result in impulse dining. Set reminders on your phone for these check-ins, and reward yourself for sticking to it, maybe with a small treat from your wants category. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Let's look at some real-life American examples to make this even more relatable with a bit more depth. Take Sarah from Texas, a teacher with $3,500 monthly take-home pay after taxes and deductions. She used to live paycheck to paycheck, always short by month's end, especially with Texas's hot summers driving up AC bills. After tracking for 2 weeks, she saw $500 going to unused subscriptions, like that forgotten Hulu add-on, and fast fashion buys from Shein. She switched to the 50-30-20 rule, cancelled extras like a gym membership she never used, switching to free YouTube workouts, and now saves $400 a month while still enjoying occasional Tex-Mex nights out at local spots. In 6 months, she built a $2,400 emergency fund, enough for a car repair without dipping into credit cards. Sarah also started using Mint to track, which helped her notice she was spending $100 on unnecessary apps, freeing up more for her goal of a family trip to Disney World. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Or consider Mike from California, a gig worker driving for Uber whose income swings between $3,000 and $5,000 after self-employment taxes. What about families or couples? Budgeting together can prevent money fights, which cause over 30% of U.S. divorces, according to a 2025 Ramsey Solutions study. Sit down monthly to review and plan, perhaps over a family dinner. Assign categories. One partner handles groceries and kids' activities, another utilities and car maintenance. Use shared apps like Honeydew or Mint's family features so everyone sees the big picture in real time. For families with kids, include categories like school supplies, $200 back-to-school average, or extracurriculars. It builds teamwork and can help with joint goals, like saving for college via a 529 plan, or a down payment on a house in a suburb. If you have blended finances, start with a joint budget for shared expenses and separate ones for personal spending to keep things fair. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Avoid common American pitfalls, and let's break them down further. One big mistake is being too aggressive at first, leading to burnout, like trying to cut all dining out in a foodie city like LA or Chicago, only to give up after a week. Start flexible, perhaps with a trial month where you track without strict limits, then tighten up as you get comfortable. Another is forgetting to budget for fun. Without it, you'll resent the process and quit. Remember, the 30% wants category is there for a reason, like tickets to a baseball game or a Netflix binge. Watch those small leaks, like daily vending machine snacks, $2 each, adding $40 monthly, or impulse buys at Walmart. They can drain hundreds over time, especially with easy one-click shopping on apps. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. A third pitfall is not accounting for debt creep, common with credit cards. Average U.S. household debt $8,000 in 2025. Always include minimum payments in needs, but use the 20% for extras to pay down faster. And don't ignore lifestyle inflation. When you get a raise, resist upgrading everything, like a bigger TV or fancier car. Instead, boost savings first. Finally, many forget seasonal costs, like heating in winter, up 10% in northern states, or AC in summer. Plan ahead to avoid surprises. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. With inflation and economic shifts in 2025, budgeting is more crucial than ever. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports food prices up 5%, gas fluctuating, and rent increasing 6% year over year. So build in a buffer, say 5 to 10% of income, for these rises. Review your budget quarterly to account for changes like a rent hike, job switch, or even new tax laws from Washington. If you're in a variable rate state like Texas with no income tax but high property taxes, factor that in. Apps can help forecast these based on national trends. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. As you improve, weave in goals to make budgeting exciting. Want to save for a cross-country move from the East Coast to West? Allocate $150 a month from wants, perhaps by cutting cable for cheaper streaming. Aiming for debt freedom from credit cards or student loans. Boost that 20% with any tax refund or side gig earnings. Set SMART goals. Specific, save $5,000 for a car. Measurable, track monthly progress. Achievable, based on your income. Relevant, fits your life. Time-bound, in 12 months. Goals turn budgeting from a chore into a tool for your American dream, whether it's home ownership, early retirement, or just financial peace. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Finally, remember, budgeting is a skill. It gets better with practice, and it's okay to start small. You might overspend the first month or forget a bill. That's normal in our fast-paced world of constant ads and easy credit. Learn from it, adjust, and keep going. Track your wins, like when you save $100 by meal prepping instead of eating out. Over time, you'll feel more confident, less stressed, and truly in control of your finances. Many Americans who budget report higher happiness and lower anxiety per a 2025 Gallup poll. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into Budgeting 101. If these simple steps to control your spending hit home, try one today. Like tracking your expenses for a week or downloading Mint for more practical US-focused finance tips. Subscribe and stay tuned. Remember, a good budget isn't about restriction. It's about making your money work for you so you can live the life you want, whether that's a stable home, travel adventures, or just peace of mind. This additional information helps deepen your understanding and offers more practical advice for mastering your budget.